In each and every ministry, they have got a weekly session. They will say, you are a minister of education. Find all the people who are working in education. We want to see what is going on. But we can't do it. Believe me, I have approached so many TV stations here, only by us. I will tell you, I will never go back to that TV station. It is owned by a Nigerian person, but there is no African person who is handling a camera. There is no African person who is collecting information, feeding the TV station. All of them are Europeans. And I asked, because they asked me to be their contributor to go and start talking rubbish. I said, no, my friend, I don't want to be on the TV for the sake of being on TV. If I cannot see an African in front of the camera, if I cannot see an African in front of the mixing desk, it is not for me. We have got so many Africans who have gone to study. We have got media degrees, man. We have got everything. But what is lacking, we also don't community cohesion. And on top of that, I will add, because we are free. I want to answer your question. Because now we can buy nice cars, we can buy houses, we can do everything that we want with no question asked. We have relaxed. We don't actually see why should I know about you? I have got my car. Maybe if that makes sense.
Before I hand over to Prof, I think one of the things I wanted to answer the question also is the fact that we're hoping that we could put together a report from this, which we intend to take forward, to the higher level, in terms of making sure that there is a review of how Brexit affects the African community from a strategic perspective, both policy and legislative. So we're looking at that. And because we have your emails, we'll be engaging with you to let you know exactly what we intend to do.
Can I just have a quick seconds? So, can I just expand what I said? I sit on an external scrutiny panel for Redbridge, where we scrutinise the police, probation, we scrutinise health and whatever. I'm also a board member. I'm also, as well, I run for the Ilford South parliamentary candidate for MP in 2015. And also in 2014, I was also the councillor for Ilford North. So therefore, when it comes to what you're all talking about, I understand it. And everything we do say today, and it's the same issues we get over and over. And I hear what you said, and I appreciate everything you said. But the question still lies. How do we get a solution? I hear all this. I hear it in Redbridge, I hear it in the scrutiny panel, I hear it all. And it's the same thing everywhere you go. We need to get together, and not only in Africa. Can I just expand on this, Chairman? It's not in Africa, in the Caribbean as well. The Caribbean community have the same issues the African community. I'm Caribbean, my parents are Caribbean, born and bred here. But the same issues that you have in Africa, or the African community, we have it as well. So, we all Africans, one way or the other, our sisters Africans, we all accept that. So that's why I'm here. That's why there's more.
Let's take it very quick.
I agree totally about the commonality. I work with Caribbeans a lot. One of my closest friends is Dr. Morgan Dafilis. He's not here today. He would have been here. And I've worked with the Caribbeans, and I've seen we have the same issues with addressing, as the gentleman said. But I think we can put behind us the complaint and the grumblings and start something. Like Prof said, when you have a product, your brother will need to support. I'm a publisher. I like publishing. I've been doing that for years. But I have challenges with our people that wanting you to do something very cheap, wanting not. But we have to persevere. I've decided to remain a publisher, whether or not I'm personalized by our community. I know some will do. And gradually, it's happening. I think what we need is the perseverance. I've worked with Mr. Loda for quite some time now, and we work together. So I think that we have some ray of hope of a few of us coming. I mean, as a pastor, I've had my challenges with other pastors too, the black pastors. We don't seem to want to work together. There's that sense of not, I don't know what the problem is, but there are still few of us who have the same passion and the vision, and we're working together. We're fewer than the larger mainstream ones, but we're working together. I think that's hope, that if we can persevere and work through, we will come up with a better solution, especially for our children. I'm worried about our children, okay? I'm worried about them much more, and I'm hoping that we will be able to set the platform for them so that they will speak on that, and not because they are worse off than us. They're definitely worse off. They're disillusioned, they're isolated and so on. So we need to, I'm determined, before I in 10 years, someone said in 10 years, look here, I think he was reading my mind. I'm determined that by God's grace, before I retire, I want to not retire and retire, but retire and have my business is really, really flourishing. That's when I'll really be not working. I'm tired of being a servant. I want to be a master. That's my determination. I'm a pastor. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to give you 2 case studies which might corroborate what we've been saying today. Number 1, why we don't have a successful business interaction among the African or Afro-Caribbean. The problem here is, without us knowing, subconsciously, we are what they call victim of 32nd bite. It's either of ego, it just has to be me. The very moment we nominate him as our leader, we forget to believe that one of us is not an angel from another planet until we bring him down. And another one, and another one, and another one. I went to Dublin for the first time 2000. Getting to Dublin, I saw Nigerians opening restaurants and rest of it. Who are the cleaners? Chinese. My friend was telling me, oh, come and have a look. Chinese is cleaning. I said, please, put this down. It won't be 10 years. Come back. This place will belong to Chinese. Maybe. This Nigerian might not even get this cleaning job. Talk less of partnership. It happens. It happens. This happened. It came to pass. That's number 1. Number 2, we African, be from Caribbean, those are brothers from Caribbean or here, we like beautiful things, but we lack that maintenance culture, sustainability. Oh, this is the office. Look at the African shops, for heaven's sake. When you walk in, is it a bad odor? This thing doesn't belong, you need to take it out. Look at the signboard. It's either hardly you can see the name, maybe one less missing. He has done it once, he or she believes he has to be there forever and ever. Where's the sustainability? So instead of saying we don't patronize, we need to start checking inwardly, not outwardly. Thank you.
It's good to be hearing this because that means we want solution for our community. And when I came here in 2000 December, for the first 1 year, I didn't have a job in this country. And when I flash back now, I see those periods that I was going through some training. And what I want to tell you regarding what I've just said is that if we want the best, if we want this community to move the way we want it, we need to forget the past. We're still carrying the baggage of the past, especially the first and second migrant to this country. They had it tough, and they believe that those who came recently too should go through the route that they've gone through. We're not willing to help ourselves. I've taken it upon myself many years ago now that I want to be raising millionaires in the black community and also in the faith community. and by the grace of God, I've done that successfully. If every one of us can just say, I'm going to raise one person, you don't need too many people. Not everybody will believe your cause. We can condemn ourselves, is black, is that, till that kingdom come. But take one person and say, look, with integrity, I'll do the best I can do. Just one person. And this is not a forum we do once a month, once a year. See, the more we connect, keep connecting, keep sharing, because it's about hearing this over and over and over and again. Our mindset is corrupted. It's like when a computer is corrupt, you need to take the hard drive completely and put a new one. And that's the same thing that is happening all over African countries. Our leaders and everything. It's the same thing. It's not just because we're in the UK. There's antivirus that needs to be, and we are in a vantage position. We're in the Western world. I see no reason why we cannot collaborate. I see no reason why we cannot do the best. See, we should be able to be bold to confront if your brother, sister has done something wrong. Face him or her, eyeball to eyeball. Bro, this will not be last. And let's learn to forgive. Because we don't forgive. Oh, he did it. And you don't want to, because you are suspicious. Every time you see a black man, a black woman, you are, in fact, we have a bad adage from where I come from, that if you are walking to where you need to shield it. What are you shielding? Knowledge, we're in knowledge economy. Knowledge, even the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. We need to share information. In fact, we talk about policy. Sorry, I'm just talking. We talk about policy. Asians, Jews, they know this policy more than we do. Every policy that comes out, what's the opportunity in it? And they call their people. You go to all the boroughs. You go to Ifo, you can hardly see. In Dagenham, at one point, there was only one black director. Every one of them. We're not in politics, we're not in anywhere. If there's an election now, they will be chasing ourselves. Please come, please come. We don't vote, we don't do stuff. Miracle is not going to happen. We need to be involved, we need to engage, we need to reboot our system and so many stuff. You know?
We're going to make it very, very snappy. So, Mr. Fatai, ask a question. You have 30 seconds. And I know you can do it because there's media now.
I think that's a very big and difficult task for me to actually say I want to meet. Because my name is Fatai, and I'm in the media world, especially I take much interest in my community within the African community. Now, I've always said this on several occasions. Our community are not as difficult as being portrayed. We are normal as a people. What really makes us to be a bit different is the fear of the unknown. We want security for ourselves, economic security, political security, and in this country, let's be realistic. Our life is not played on the same level field. We are disadvantaged. That's the reality. We ask elections where people search for what they are successful, but it is not as easy as we want it. If we say that we are not being discriminated against this country, we are not being realistic. But I want to waste our time here because this is not a day we have to emphasize all this. The real issue here has to do with how do we educate our people? Education. Because if you look across this country today, how many media do we have that carries news about the black community in the UK, trying to be 24 hours news, station that, because the more you try to carry a news, re-emphasize, even if people are refusing to listen, one way or the other, it will be sticky. News is what we need. Because through the news, we can be educated. We can be disoriented, we can be oriented. A lot of things goes with education. That is where our problem is. Please, let us put our resources together. People here are people of good minds, like minds, well exposed. Well, I'm so impressed with them because we have every problem that we have as a community are being mirrored here tonight. What we need is, how do we approach our solution? How do we get a solution to the problems? Whatever we can do, please, let us get together and create media forum whereby we can educate our people. When education goes to our people and they understand the reason why we are being disadvantaged because we are not cooperating with each other, we don't patronize each other, we don't actually do what we do, we don't help each other. We have to let them understand that we are even trying to find a way in dissuading the future of our children from being progressive. Because our generation now, we owe a duty. We are the bridge between the past and the future. And if we deliberate on that particular duty, honestly, generations coming, society will never forgive us. We need to handle this issue with real aggression. Let our people understand that we are treading on a wrong route. We need education for our people. Media, that's what we need. Please, whoever is a millionaire here, please call me. Let's create a media forum.
I like that.
I think what I want to talk about is towards the solution which we have all been asking for, because the questions have been reverberating everywhere, but it seems like we are going on one straight line without really moving forward. And I just want to make one or two suggestions, or 1.5. I start with 0.5, which is that when we speak in this type of forum, we should allow ourselves the space to be corrected when people give out information that's not correct. Otherwise, it goes. Yes, and that is not a criticism, but that is something which you need to build into subsequent. There's no time for it now, but we need to build that into our dialogue. Then the second one, which is the major substantive point, is that we were talking about communicating coming out from this. With your permission, can we produce a reference book about all the people who've come here, what they do? We're talking about joint up working. If we do not collect that now, yes, and make it a substantive bulletin which can go around, then we'll miss a whole heap of information. And people who may want to talk to each other are run out of cards. And I'm sure there are still other people that want to give cards and collect theirs. But if we can produce A5 printer, knows how it is done, and others.
I often to talk about, I was trying to say.
Okay, can I give up on that then? That's my
I think what Pastor is saying is that it's volunteering to assist us on that.
And publish it, whatever.
fantastic.
We have a Facebook page that is active, and in sharing people's information, we'll rather share it by email.
Not on Facebook, please.
Because of data
protection. Not on Facebook.
No,
A booklet.
We'll circulate an email for everybody that is there, so that all the email comes, and then we'll now take the bulletin issue as part of the
booklet. Yes.
Okay.
I just need to respond to what Mr. Fatai said about the questions in our community. I am a mental health advocate, and this thing comes up in me each time. Unfortunately, a lot of the problems we have in our community is because people have impaired minds. And when I talk about impairment of mind, I mean that we have all of the knowledge, we have all of the expertise, but where people have severe emotional issues, they're not able to comprehend things. A lot of people are walking around with undiagnosed mental illnesses. I see people who are bipolar. I observe people. One of the things I do when I go into events like this is that, as buoyant as I may be, I actually observe people. A lot of people are walking around with undiagnosed mental illness, depression. We keep quiet, we don't talk. So you have all of the expertise. Man is a tripartite being. We are spirits. We have a soul, and we live in this body. Your soul is an embodiment of your emotion, your intellect, and every other thing, your feelings. You have your body that carries everything along. Once your mind is impaired, no matter how much intellect stuff you have, you are not able to disseminate it and carry it out through your body. A lot of people have, I told you about a friend that I have that has 2 PhDs, 4 masters. He's working as a team leader in a local authority, team leader. And I look at him and my heart bleeds. We have so much expertise in our community. The woman who has the African shop or the man who has the African shop and puts rotten things, he knows. He sees maggots coming out, he puts it there. Most of them have severe issues going on back home and they don't care. The issue is that at the root of the problems we have in our community are unidentified mental illnesses, unidentified severe emotional issues that people are not talking about. We know how to do the makeup, we know how to wear the right coats, the right ties with the right breast pockets, Anki. But when you go back home, you know what your issues are when you get back home. You know when you close the door and the lights are off. You know the difficulties you go through, but we don't talk. That is one of the pain, the problems we have in our communities. When are we going to start opening our mouths and start talking? We spiritualize everything, but the truth is not everything is spiritual. Some things are just about talking, looking for a confidence, looking for a safe zone where you can talk about the barriers you have. You're trying to push through, you have the business ideas, they're all there up in your head. But you're finding it difficult to express yourself. And the truth is, no matter how blessed you are, no matter how anointed, quote unquote, you are, if there's no avenue for you to express those things, you become frustrated. And so you have one shop, you sit down with that one shop, and the ability for you to look further 1 year down the line is very, very difficult. We have issues. And I think it's about us addressing those issues first and foremost. I cry for the next generation, especially our boys. I'm happy that today we have about 65% men in the house today. Let's sit down and look at the next generation of the boys that we have in our community. 75% of the gangs in London. I work in a borough where 65, but they call them exporters of gangs. They export the gang activities. They have the worst gang issues in the whole of London. They export their gang issues to other local authorities. Outside, Nottingham, they go as far as Birmingham, they go all over. The issue is that most of them are Africans. They're Nigerians, they're Ghanaians, they're Sierra Leoneans, they're from Congo. These are our boys, the next generation. What are we doing about it? Most of them have undiagnosed mental illnesses, and that's the next generation. We're talking about preparing for the next generation. We're talking about having a successor if you have succeeded. How do we do that? Let's go back down and talk about the issues in our community. Let's go back to the family lines, where fathers are walking away and not looking back at the families in our black communities are headed by women. Why? The men are somewhere, they're not bothered. They go and marry, like Professor said earlier, you have a man who is walking on the street and there are 5 women who are praying that he will die. Those women misled them with children. Baby mothers. And he has not bothered to think about what is my next generation about. We all have to go back and think. So it's not just about what we talk about, empowerment, development. Go back home. Go back home. What are you doing? Who is the young man you're mentoring? Who is the young woman you're mentoring in your own little time? We can complain from today till tomorrow until we sort back our homes, until we sort out the issues in our homes. We'll continue to go round and round in a circle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things which I wanted to just speak about briefly is the issue of security, because rightly so, Professor Alao mentioned, the cybersecurity issues. Working within this industry, one of the greatest disadvantage that ethnic minorities have, and ethnic minority countries back home, is that we don't understand this issue of security. It's very, very deep. We have a lot of experts, we have who are represented here. But the biggest thing which we do not have is that we don't have the one African platform of security experts, which I think very, very essential if we want to empower our countries, if we want to empower our communities. So I think instead of we can go back and look at the drawing board, but I think the way forward is we need to come up with an African security professional platform, not just from Nigeria or Cameroon, where we can have all these experts sit down in a closed door and talk about the way forward on how to advise our companies. I think it's highly, highly imperative because of the issues which are happening and which will keep happening to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to respond to the gentleman, because I think we sort of missed what he was trying to say. It's all about action. What is going to happen? Yes, we will have a bulletin and all of that, but then after that, what happens? What I would suggest is today, if people can come together, form like a committee, so it becomes a working committee to look at the issues that have been discussed, look at the solution, and look at how we can now begin to engage with the government. Yes, we can send out papers from now till like Kingdom Come, but we need a working group that will address that.
Can I make a comment?
We're really running labor. If you could make 1 minute comment, please, just make it 1 minute, and then we end. 1 minute, 1 minute.
The name is Bolaji Lewis. Just a quick one. As we're saying about what are you going to do, what's the way forward? I can see that a lot of people here have done a lot in social environment, but I'm a political economist. I'm from the financial environment, and we have already set up a group which is working with Nigeria on what Brexit actually means in economic terms for Nigeria. So that is what needs to be the way forward.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Monde Omoyi. I'm from Nigeria. Quickly, I'm not going to, it said I only have 1 minute and I'm just going to make it brief. The thing is, I heard everybody talking about the action plan. So our community, we need to quickly from here, we've discussed everything, we've said everything all. Can we make the action plan happen right now?
Thank you.
Okay, you know, we talk and talk and talk and talk. I am very pleased that we are in a place, no matter how small it is, now things are changing. I am an action man. If we work in conjunction with the gentleman who owns this place, could we have a discussion like question time every month, once a month? We don't need a big audience. We have got the gear. We are able to stream live and record a broadcast standard programs. So, yeah, I am from AIL TV, and also I've got another organization called Clear Image Media Group. If we put this into action, all we need, just invite professionals. We will reach the audience. So that is my contribution. Yes.
Does anyone know an organization called BNI, Business Network International?
Quite a few of them.
No, BNI, Business Network International, is the biggest network group in the world. And what they do, every Wednesday they meet, just similar to what you said. There's nothing like business is not flowing, and everybody, watch other people's their back. I used to belong to a group in Redbridge. I left it 3 years ago.
Still there.
It's still there. B4B, it's called B4B. And we're just like about 2-3 black people out of a group of 70 groups. Sorry, 70, the group is about 70 people, and we're just 3. You see, like he said, it's not about numbers. If you have 30, 50 people on a mission to say we want to change the black community, and we're sincere about it, and we're passionate about it, and we're dedicated, we're committed to make this a reality. We have so many other groups, black ethnic groups in this country. Kanu, so many other things, we just talk. Seriously, we just talk. We don't see. This is the one of the group I've come to that we're saying, let's create solution now. We talk. We come back another 4 months, 6 months. If we're not fighting ourselves for political leadership and all those things, so I'm sorry to. We're talking. You know, I'm not asking for money from anybody. But if we must change, it's not even for us, for our children.
Exactly.
For our children. And if we don't do something now, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, do you know that the African community, our parents came here before the Asians? We speak better English. Today, we're here. Do you get what I'm saying? And if we don't do something, in Nigeria we used to have a Egbe Omoduduwa, this, that. It's not about numbers. Like they said, let's see something we can do. Iron sharpens iron. Let's raise ourselves up. The country will not take us serious because we don't have economic power. We don't have political power. We are powerless. We're not in the media. We're nowhere. We prefer to sit there and watch Nollywood till their kingdom come. Nollywood is owned by us. So many other channels owned by us. We have Christian channels owned by Africans. Let's take our message there. If we need to go and meet Alistair, who say, look, you're doing this justice to your community. If you go to meet, we'll set up a team, we'll go and meet them and say, this is what we want to do. Let them come and beam us. Let the black, see, even if they're not ready to do Facebook, YouTube today, we can reach millions of people. We can reach millions of people, even without them. I will start sharing what we're saying. All over the world, they will see it is a voice. Because if we are on a mission, nothing can stop us. Yeah?
Okay, it has been said. Now we need to round up. But we can't stop without appreciating this 100 years experience in front of us. Please, give them a round of applause, please. I will ask for only just one figure. When I finish what I want to do, as a former civil servant, I've been trained to talk in less than 2 minutes, so I will do that. When we finish what we've done, if you could just wait for just 1 minute, so we'll take the ones that will not take your details. We'll know which group you want to be in, so we can start acting now, as you've given us permission to do. While we are doing that, can I use this opportunity while you sit down where you are? Use this opportunity to call on Joseph Olivia Aluko, please. Give her a round of applause, please. Okay. In Nigeria, they like Sunday first, so I was just following protocol. Okay, yes. I will give her 1 minute to just explain exactly what we've done here. But what we've done is, as part of our job, taking action, because we noticed that a lot of our families are being imprisoned. Some of them are losing their right. Maybe they have indefinite leave, and then they decide to smack their child with an iron rod, and then they get criminal record, and then they deport them back home or remove them. They don't use deport, so they don't have a bushman. So they remove them, administratively remove them, and all those kind of things. So we decided to create what we call a smacking guide. Where what we're doing is we're going to reduce it to come.
Give it to me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Huh? She's coming.
Mean non-smacking guy.
We've got copies for you. So she will talk about it for 2 minutes.
I thought you said it. Good evening, everyone. I don't want to repeat what you have said, but okay, let me stand in the middle. Oh, okay, camera. Okay.
No, you have to calm down.
Down. Fortunately, the people that should hear this message are not here, because I believe we all know about what corporal punishment is. We know that smacking, some of us have older children, some of us have younger children. But I would say that a lot of people work in the support industry, social care, they know about social services, they know about smacking. And one of the things that we found out, especially last year, when Timmy and I discussed, parents in distress, being arrested, maybe the man being put in prison. I mean, one pathetic case that came to the law firm that I had last year was a lady went to school and she left her little child, two little kids, one 3-year-old and a 1-year-old with the husband. And I think while the 3-year-old was playing, he went with the hot water and poured it on the little one, and there was an issue. Of course, both parents were, put in prison, because what the GP said is that the parents knew about the deed. So, I mean, what we've put this together in to explain, what smacking is, what corporal punishment is, what boundaries do we have? Because a lot of the times I see them across the street. What I see people, they shout on children. In fact, they are shouting out of frustration. I've seen people, hitting their children with what's called this stick, Okay, battle. Even in this England, I've had people say to children, I brought you to this world and I can take you out. But I tell you one thing, we're talking about Brexit. Brexit gives us a lot of rights to be able to defend yourself. But I tell you, UK is still lagging behind. France, Switzerland, Germany, they've all banned smacking. You can't afford to eat your child anyhow. You can train them, you can discipline them, but you have to understand the rules. This is integration, this is Britain. When you are in Rome, you behave as the Romans do. And let me tell you one thing, contrary to what we believe, especially we Africans, the British, they do train their children. Yeah, you see, look, the ones that don't train their children are the ones on the streets. They're at the bottom of the barrel. The well-educated ones, they do train their children, and we have to train our children. So we've got it here in Hausa. We've got Yoruba in the pipeline. We've got Igbo. We're planning to do it in Creole language. We're planning to do, all languages, the best that we can. So let's work together and make this happen.
Please let me just appreciate that again, for keeping me awake all night to do this, and you could get a copy of this, but it's also going to be on our website, so you could be able to go there. We got the Yoruba one, we just type it up, just to make sure. We're going to have it in Somalia now, we're going to have it in Edo language and all the others. So once again, please, can you appreciate my panelists? But please, we're going to be taking your details. I think we've taken your details, but we want to know which aspect you'll be interested in so that we don't waste your time. And then we're going to put you into committees. But more importantly, you're giving us the mandate to start the action. So we'll start the action. We're going to commence the bulletin also, as you have instructed to booklet. Yeah, but let me also highlight that we have people that also have a network. In order not to duplicate some of the work, when we put the committees together, if there is a group that exists already that could actually take that thing forward, then we will be advising you about that rather than all duplicating. Because we said we want to cooperate, isn't it? So, with that, I would like to use this opportunity to close this program, and thank you very much. For those that are watching us all over, please wave to the people that, we have a new executive board, but you see that on our website rather than. But for all our viewers and my lovely
Okay, it's just a vote of thanks on behalf of the Executive Board and the Board of Directors for Nigerian Diaspora Security Forum. And I'm actually going to say to take me after that. I think we need to remove the word Nigeria here. Okay? I think we should remove the word Nigeria here because there's a lot of security issues because Cameroonians, Somalians, so it's an African thing. And the IDP we talked about earlier, it actually means internally displaced people, because a lot of people use acronyms that we don't know the meaning of. And there are lots of internally displaced people in all over Africa. So it's not just a Nigerian issue. So thank you all so much. I think you are extremely distinguished. I am proud of everyone who sat down through. It's not a party where we're sitting and eating and drinking. It's the fact that, look at me, when I started, I was telling everybody, come there, come there. So thank you all so much. We appreciate you. And we're hoping that when we do call you back, you will be here. And you will not be the only one that will come. Please tell other people that there are a group of people who are very passionate about making sure we make an impact in our community. It's not just about talking. For once, this is about an action plan being put in place immediately. Thank you all. Can you give yourself a round of applause, please?
Also, just to portray that international conference that's coming up, if you want to be part of that conference, please speak to Olivia and we'll be able to do that. Thank you very much for coming. I will appreciate you. Thank you.